Well, thank you all for coming this afternoon. I'm Ed Leonard, Chairman of the San Francisco Fleet Week Committee, a nonprofit group that puts on Fleet Week, and I'm happy to say Fleet Week is here, and we're ready to roll. We're going to have a great event this year. We've got one U.S. Navy ship, the USS Green Bay, that's now on its way from Hawaii, 3 Canadian ships, 1 Coast Guard vessel, and the Jeremiah Bry again in our parade of ships. Of course, we got the Blue Angels, and we got Commander Greg McWherter here to say a few words, and we'll have a great air show with Team Oracle. It's been here for many years, Julie Clark, Lucas Oil, Patriot Jets, and an F-16 from the Air Force Air National Guard. So I think it's going to be their usual robust week, great weather. This year we've had some extra struggles financially, some recession. So we were really lucky to have the Fisherman's Wharf group and Hornblower Yachts and Cruises in particular help us with the cruise to raise money. And we're also really happy we've got a major presenting sponsor in CVS Pharmacy. And Charlie Dubb from CVS is going to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Newsom, for having me today on behalf of CVS Pharmacy. We are thrilled. We are genuinely thrilled to be part of this year's Fleet Week festivities. CVS Pharmacy has a tradition of commitment in the communities to which we belong, and being new to the Bay Area community, we thought this was a great way to demonstrate our commitment to this community. To enhance the experience, we are also offering free rides on the F-Line Muni this Saturday and Sunday to everyone. So leave the cars at home, catch the F-Line, enjoy the sights and sounds of Market Street and Embarcadero, and come on down to what's going to be a great event. Again, we are pleased to have the mayor's support. We look forward to being a good neighbor in the Bay Area and in San Francisco for many years to come. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Charlie. It's really great of you. And now let me introduce Commander Greg McWherter, who's the commanding officer of the Blue Angels and the #1 pilot.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you very much. On behalf of 130 sailors and Marines, it's our honor to be here in San Francisco. What an amazing city, wonderful people, and a great opportunity to participate in Fleet Week. We in the Navy and Marine Corps are incredibly proud of what our sailors and Marines do every day, and we're very excited to maybe show you a small sample of the pride and professionalism demonstrated by these young men and women every day. Thanks to the City of San Francisco, certainly the sponsors. We travel the country. We're in a different city every week, and our goal is really twofold, to share and to get you guys excited about what we can do in the Navy and the Marine Corps, but also maybe do a little recruiting, because no matter how well we take care of ourselves, we can't do this job forever. And hopefully some of the young folks that see our show maybe get a chance to get inspired by what we're doing. So hopefully one of these young men or women will be able to do my job in 20 or 30 years from now, and that's a great thing. The reason I tell you what our mission is because we can't do it without volunteers. We can't do it without events like Fleet Week. Certainly can't do it without community support, and can't do it without sponsors. So thanks to everyone for inviting us. We're excited about 4 great days of flying here in your city, and we look forward to meeting you guys out on the street as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. So Greg will hang around a little bit if you want to ask him about some of his maneuvers and if he's ever thrown up or any of those kind of questions. So we couldn't do Fleet Week without the Blue Angels and the Navy, without our sponsors, or without the city. We've had huge support from the city for all the years that I've been doing the Fleet Week Committee. And from the Office of Protocol, Matthew Godot is back there. I don't see Mrs. Schultz, but the Office of Protocol has been a big supporter. But Mayor Newsom really has led the charge, and I got to thank him very much for making sure this happens every year.
Thanks, Ed. And let me just reciprocate and say this. Ed Leonard, this is his last year as chair of the Fleet Week Committee. He's been chair since 1996. And if there is anyone that deserves the attention and deserves consideration for the success of Fleet Week, not just in the minds of San Franciscans, people from out the Bay Area, but across this state and nation, it's Ed Leonard. So Ed, thank you for your stewardship, and thank you for stepping up each and every year. Round of applause. Thank you. It's a little quiet there, right? I also want to thank the protocol staff and Matthew and Don Whitaker as a vice chairman and all his work, and the whole team to bring the Blue Angels back. I will remind everyone, as I do every year, the complaint/compliment line on noise is 311. So I remind people only to say complaint and compliment, because we should balance the desire to, to express our opinion, and not just in the context of the surprise on, when are you guys going to be doing the first flights, the practice flights? Wednesday? Thursday. And then we got a surprise tomorrow, but that's another topic. But on Thursday. So what invariably happens, you guys know this, they didn't read about this, they didn't hear about it, and all of a sudden some jets come over and then these phones light up, and then the Board of Supervisors holds a hearing and they say the noise is such, and then we say no, and then someone else says no, this year it's different, and then the whole thing. But every year it always ends up, people love the Blue Angels, they love Fleet Week, they love the festivities, and the year that they weren't here, when I was around, everyone complained loudly, why weren't they here? And I said, well, because you were always complaining about them. But now folks, I think, realize what they were missing when the Blue Angels are gone. So a long-winded way of saying, Commander, Greg, everybody, thank you for being back. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity, allowing us to see your expertise at work, allowing us the opportunity to say thank you to the Navy, thank you to the Coast Guard, thank you for the Marines, thank you for your sacrifice, thank you for your stewardship on behalf of all of us. That is not lost, certainly on me or Ed, and I believe the vast majority of San Franciscans. And I really can't impress upon you more. To me, that's what we're celebrating, is that sacrifice. We're celebrating that courage. We're celebrating this kind of conviction. And so it is right to do that. 1.2 million people are out there on the coastal parts of the Bay enjoying this festivity, and arguably hundreds of thousands more on rooftops and backyards throughout the Bay Area. This is a huge boom to our local economy. The restaurants love it. The neighbors, depending on where you're parking, if you're parking on their lawn, they don't feel so good about it, but if you're parking appropriately in an empty parking space, they feel great about it. It is nonetheless quite a festivity and an extraordinary event. We also want to thank CVS, because it was a big deal in this economic climate to get them to step up and step in and make the contributions. And so truly, I appreciate your willingness to do that. I don't recall Walgreens doing that, not that I want to get into a competitive frame. I'm a supporter of Walgreens. If you're from Walgreens, I maintain that, but it's good to have competition. It's healthy. And everyone that will be on the F line will be particularly pleased. The whole idea, the message they want their mayor, this is the message of every mayor, is public transit. This is the message that I am tasked to repeat. Please use public transit. Please take BART. Please take Caltran. Please take Golden Gate Transit. Please take advantage of the ferry system. Please take advantage of free F-line. Please take advantage of our Muni system. Please do not park on people's lawns. Please be sensitive, particularly in the Marina District, to people's driveways. Please be sensitive to pedestrians. Please be sensitive to the hundreds of thousands of people that will make their way to enjoy what should be an extraordinary extended weekend. Final point. This is I hate the phrase because it's so overused. That's the first complaint being logged. The idea that this is a Chamber of Commerce weekend, but this really is. You've got the President's Cup here in San Francisco. You name it, we've got the best golfers from around the world, from Tiger Woods on down. They have all arrived in the city, and they're here throughout the weekend down at Harding Park. We had a great weekend with Hardly Strictly Bluegrass and all the other festivities on Treasure Island, and just a lot of energy around San Francisco. But this weekend, you combine that with the Columbus Day Parade, you combine it with the 40 49er game, underscore the need to focus on public transit and alternative means of getting to and fro the city and around our streets. But the weather looks to once again be cooperating. A lot of support, again, we've been receiving for this, and I couldn't be more grateful. And again, Ed, thank you for your stewardship and leadership, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And one of these days, you'll change the rules to allow politicians to go back up, because every time I see Senator Feinstein, she reminds me again and again about how she went up there and she said she was in great health. Her family reminds me, no, she was sick for days, but she reminds me, no, it was great, I was wonderful, everything was, so I want to test that out. But so if you ever change it, and I thought there was a height limitation, and then I saw you, and so that was a lousy argument. Someone used that a couple years ago, said you're too tall, which is now nonsense as well. So if you ever change that, let me know, because I'm ready. Thank you all very much. We're happy to answer any questions.
So we can take a couple of questions, and we'll hang around later if you want to have.
I understand that there's maybe a problem raising funding for next year. Can you talk about that?
Well, next year's a long way away, and I only focus on what's immediately ahead of me. But the model of Fleet Week financially has been sponsorships and a little bit of support from the city. So I don't know how long this recession is going to last. The question is that model a viable model going forward? So we decided to try and get some new revenue sources. So that's why the Hornblower Cruise. That's why we're going to have some donation boxes out on the marina. We've now got a thing you can click through on the website to donate money. So it's really, let's make sure the thing is financially sound rather than it's a disaster and it's going to go under. So we're just basically looking for new revenue sources.
And let me mark my words, I'm not, and I mean this with some, I've been doing this a long time, I'm not concerned about it. It's a difficult time. It doesn't matter if you're selling tickets to Pee Wee golf tournament. It's such is the nature of the economy. But this is an iconic event for Northern California, for the state. It's too important, and I am absolutely sure there are a lot of people like the stewards you see behind me, as CBS and others, that will step up at the right time. We'll be all right.
Well, I wish you'd tell me you weren't concerned with it earlier.
How much money does this bring into the city, and how does that stack up maybe against some of the other events that we have?
Say it again?
How much money does this bring to the city as far as our economy? Do we know?
There's never been sort of a UC or study that directly does it, but it's millions and millions of dollars. It's self-evident. The restaurants, the hotels are packed, thousands of people that naturally wouldn't be here are here, and then you have tens of thousands, arguably hundreds of thousands of people from the Bay Area that come into San Francisco proper and are spending money and are connecting to the city. So it's a regional benefit, and obviously it is got an international cachet. It's a time of year that people love coming to San Francisco because they know all these festivities and events are occurring at the same time, and there's no greater iconic event. I use that word iconic for a reason. You look at those ships coming in below the Golden Gate Bridge, it's really magnificent. You see the photos of those jets coming over Coit Tower. Truly extraordinary. I don't know what it's like to fly above the city, but there are few places on the planet more beautiful and spectacular, the topography, etc. So I think it also is a great thing for the families of men and women in uniform as well, and I imagine you guys are eager to come out here versus, I won't say some other places, but that just look a little bit the same and a little more flat and a little bit more staid.
Well, maybe the pilots want to come up and tell us what it's like to fly San Francisco versus other places?
With all those hills, you get close to those buildings.
Sure. Believe it or not, this is actually my first year flying at Fleet Week. But flying in today was amazing. The first thing you'll see coming up the coast, Monterey Peninsula, come around the corner, there's the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz. Just a gorgeous place to fly. And the mayor's exactly right. The topography here is much different than most of the other places we fly. So it's a challenging show site, but it's a very rewarding show site. And I'll tell you, when you look down and you have trouble seeing grass or trees because of all the people, it really makes you feel good knowing that these folks are out here to get excited about the same thing that we're excited about. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Any other questions on this, guys?
Yeah, Leonard, you talked a little bit about the need for public transit in terms of all that we have going on this weekend, but if we could talk for a moment also about the economic impact of having the President's Cup and this in town at the same time. Is this what San Francisco needs?
Yeah, October is just a huge month for the city, even by even by historic standards, I'm trying to really go back. You know, I've been in an elected office 14-ish years or something, and I mean this. I don't think there's been a constellation of more events occurring at the same time of magnitude than the constellation of events of magnitude that are occurring this October. We had a great jump start this weekend, and it's just going to get better and better over the next few weeks. I think our office listed, and we'll provide it to you, detail of every festival, from wine festivals to other neighborhood festivals that are occurring at the same time. The Oracle conference is here, and the larger events like the President's Cup, and obviously Blue Angels and Fleet Week and Columbus Day parades are all occurring with the 49ers and other sporting events in our own backyard. We don't get the Giants to extend their time, but nonetheless, it's going to be a pretty remarkable month. Plus, I think everyone knows that lives out here, end of September, October are the most beautiful beautiful weeks. The weather's the best. The fog tends to be a little less dominant, and so you get weather like this, and so people just enjoy the heck out of the city. It's a great time. So I feel very, very good. It's a good way to end a year. It's been a tougher year for us in the economic frame. This will be a great way to sort of jumpstart the end of the year and begin the new in January.
How much does Fleet Week cost to put on, and how much does the city contribute?
What's your overall cost?
It costs around $500,000, and we raise most of the money from sponsorship. We get some money from grants for the arts, some from the port, but there's no direct money from the city treasury.
Why not?
Well, it's be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. A lot of strings get attached.
Yeah, other cities do it differently, and then this works. I mean, we have a really bare bones organization. There are only 3 people. We have no administrative staff whatsoever. We borrow from the companies that we work for. I think if the city actually funded it, it could easily be $1 million once you start putting in administrators and so forth. So I think this model works, but it's a little tenuous, and so this idea of raising money from the public, there's tremendous enthusiasm for Fleet Week, obviously, and we just never had a good vehicle for letting people donate, say, $10, $20. And we'd love to build up a little war chest so that if we had bad weather one year and couldn't sell tickets on the Marina Green, we'd have a cushion.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't need to, you don't. Plus, you guys have written the politics of this event, which just, to me has been really unfortunate in the past. It doesn't exist this year, which is great. So we can avoid having to deal with people playing the game by leveraging, which is a nice thing to avoid as well.
I understand that Blue Angels are going to be flying over the President's Cup this year. Is that right?
It's rumored. Can't be confirmed. We'll sound like military representatives. It cannot be confirmed or denied.
Not during the competition, though.
No,
That's not a rumor.
that's not. That's absolute. Yeah. Anything else on this, guys? All right. Thank you all very much.
How's life with Montana? Come on, tell us about the baby. We want to know.